Hmm.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
How are you?
I am well. I am streaming in today from the West Coast. I'm in Oakland, so it's about
Oakland.
7:30 a.m. here this morning. So it's a
Yes.
little early because I'm getting ready for an event, but I
Mhm.
didn't want to miss us hopping on today with some exciting news. How are you?
Same. I'm excited. I'm excited. Been up, made sure I got up and ready for the call. Thinking about, wow, all the years people have been talking about my voice, and now I'm a narrator. Now it's a thing. Now we're Amazon bestsellers. And not only did I get here by myself, right? But I think we have 13, 14 of the 18 authors that narrated it with us. Good morning, Co. We see you, Co's here. Um, come on live with us, Co. You should have the link in your email. But super excited to not be here by ourselves, to be here with you, to be here for myself, as myself. So all the things. That's how I am.
Right? So yeah,
Yes.
so we're joining you this morning on a Saturday morning, 10:30 in Atlanta, 7:30 in Oakland. We're
Yes.
joining to tell you about some good news that we found out on Wednesday. And if you were listening to the podcast, you knew it because we had just found out right before we went live. You want to tell them, Shannon?
Oh, we've had so much good news. Actually, you
Right?
remind me what you're mentioning because I don't know
Right?
which detail you're on.
No, the fact that about
The
volume
audiobook is
one, the audiobook,
available,
y'all, the audiobook
and
is
that's why we're
live
here.
and available, right?
Yes. Yes. So it
So,
was amazing to find that out on, right? And we found out that we were Amazon bestseller when we were on
right,
camera. So doing
right.
these lives, we've been able to be together and celebrate. And yes, it is available for the holiday discount on Amazon. You can find it on different places, but that's where you're going to get the best deals. So we want to make sure that we're giving you all the options like we always talk about. And we're excited to give you the option of the audiobook to be able to listen to it so you can fit it into your schedule if you haven't been able to read it.
Right? We have been having a lot of people ask for this version, and
Hmm.
it took us a minute, and one of the reasons it took us a minute, y'all, is now the question is that hoodie available? It's coming, my friend. It is
Yes.
coming. It is in the works, actually. And you know what, Shannon,
Yes.
you and I have been talking about that hoodie for a while.
We
And
have.
so I would love, Courtney, here's what we're going to say to you. We're going to promise you it will be available before February. Yeah,
Mm.
it will. We can make that happen because it'll be.
Okay.
Let's make sure that our merch is
Hmm.
available before the Women Connected in Wisdom Summit that is
Okay.
coming in February.
I like it.
We have
And
been
let
working on
let
it,
me
and go
let
ahead.
me plug the who it is, right? So we're not copyright infringing on anybody because we make sure we do that. But the Black women in real estate, right? I plan on being a real estate investor, and we definitely talk
Right.
about this all the time. So I had Joy investing my
Ah,
money over there with them, and we're aligned. And here we are,
okay.
investing our time in narration and audiobooks and all the
I
things.
love that. I was thinking about our Women Connected Wisdom hoodie. I
Oh
wasn't
no,
thinking
it's
about your
coming.
awesome collaboration over competition hoodie, which I
But
love that
that's why Co said it,
one. Right.
right? But we are
Right.
absolutely gonna do it.
Absolutely.
And I love to
Right.
hear by February. Yeah, let's see where we are in a few
Right.
weeks. Hmm.
We've been talking about our Women Connected Wisdom merch coming, and so you're cold and you're ready. All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna make a special one for you. We're gonna
Hey,
make
and
you a
I like it. It's
right.
gonna look
We
good.
we got some things in the works.
I've been
So
thinking
we I
about mugs.
oh we're doing mugs because we always
Mhm,
drink tea together. We
mhm,
always are drinking something while we're on the show, like
right.
mugs, journals,
Mhm,
planners,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
hoodies. But that's not what we're talking
Pins,
about today, y'all. What
right?
we're talking about today is the audiobook, one project
Yes.
at a time, right? And
Mhm,
our first book, Women Connected in Wisdom Stories and Resources Rooted in the Eight Dimensions of Wellness,
yes.
we used Hybrid Global Publishing, which was awesome. Shout out to Karen Strauss and her team. They were
Yes.
amazing for our
Yes.
ebook and our print book. At the time, they didn't offer audiobook services. And what we realized after we became Amazon bestsellers, and we had these 18 incredible authors, 14 of which had never been published before, people were
Mhm.
really asking, our listeners were asking about an audiobook. They were asking about, can we hear the author's voices? And we were like, you know, as we always do. Oh, sure, we can make that.
Well,
Well, that journey started almost a year ago.
over a
and
year
um,
ago.
and we just made it
Yeah,
happen. And there was a lot of learning. There was a lot of things. We were really proud of the product that we put out there, especially thanks to Music Addict Studio and thanks to Native Pharaoh. And like the people on our team have been incredible, and they've been working with us in figuring this out as we go along. And in some ways, I don't want to say collaboration is more difficult because I don't believe that, but I do think that collaboration, often you have to slow down a little, right? Because we have 18 voices, we have 18, and not all of our authors in volume one were able to read for this version,
right.
but we still had a lot of authors. It wasn't just one person going into the studio and getting this work done. So I know for myself personally, sometimes I forget to add in that extra time because I know what I'm capable of in my body and how fast I usually move. But the more people you add in, often you got to add in more buffers and more time, as you and I both found out over the last 2 years, right?
Absolutely. Yes,
Right.
yes, and that's the part where it is a new skill set, right? Is
Right.
it everything has its own set of pros and cons, right? So there's
Mhm.
pros and cons to doing it by yourself. And it's easier because you know yourself better than you know the
Right.
different people who over the lifetime of the business are going to be in your business, right? You know yourself better. But when you set up a system that anybody can do, like for example, the way I organize Shaylo Glow, I make sure that none of the containers are heavier than 50 pounds, right? So that
Mhm.
way, that can be a specific question I ask somebody to make sure that they have that that physical mobility or are working towards it because they can expect for it to be something that they need, right? And that way we can check in and see how the individual is doing, but also make sure that the standard is the same and things can be uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then many
Many
hands
hands make
make
light work.
work light,
Make light
right?
work. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So now we can do more because we know across these 18 authors with the 12 authors in volume 2, now we can talk about all these different stories. I don't have to spend my 51 years, Eileen Dillon can do that in volume 2 and we have the audiobook coming. And Coach
Right.
Co can do it through social wellness and in the school system when I'm outside the school system but can vote for the school system and different things like that. We can complement each other and collaborate together.
Right.
Mm,
Yeah, and we're really excited. One of the parts of this process is when you distribute an audiobook, it's like any project, right? There's some things that are under your control and there are some things that aren't. So, of course, we were really looking forward to this audiobook being out before volume 2 came out.
right.
We didn't
Let's
have
talk
control
about
over
it.
that. Like, we
Right.
didn't have control over that. Because
Exactly.
when you upload an audiobook to the distributors, they say it's anywhere between 50 and 90 days before
Hmm.
it hits.
Hmm.
Well, that's a lot of wiggle room.
It is. Business days, regular days, those are
Right,
different, right? How do we count it? We
right.
got to
And
know.
then
Yep.
it's like, so we got the news last week
Hmm.
that we were live. Our audiobook for volume one is
Yes.
available on over 50 platforms
Hmm.
currently.
Hmm.
So wherever you listen to your audiobooks, check us
Have
out
it.
and just search Women Connected in Wisdom, Stories and Resources. It'll be the cover of volume one. Shannon, do you have a copy of volume one there that you can
Yes.
show folks?
Now this is a special edition, okay? This is my
Right.
rattered and tattered owner, author, narrator, taking notes. I have all different stuff in here, but this is what it looks
Oh,
like. It's
look at
beautiful.
who's joining
Coach
us.
Co.
Good
Oh,
Hey,
hey.
how y'all
So
doing?
good. Excited for you to be here.
morning.
I had to go and get presentable. I was like, let me go and get presentable. Shannon calling
Welcome.
me out. Let me go get presentable.
Welcome. And you know I like these glasses.
You
Yeah,
look
thank you.
fabulous this
Yes, she
Saturday
does.
morning, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So we've been talking, Co, and this is
Hmm.
why I've been hyping you up so much about volume 2, right? Because I do not do it justice. I'm gonna let you know I'm disappointed in your chapter because I feel like it would have been better had it been in your voice for volume 1, right? And that's just because I they can't hear, you know what I mean? So that's why we're excited for you to be part of volume 2 and why we
Hmm.
love the authors being able to read it in their own voice, but I'm super excited for you to be in both volumes. How do you feel about the audiobook coming out?
I'm so excited because, as an auditory learner, I'm good on You need that, especially like just imagine riding. We like to take our long rides, take our rides, and being able to have the book playing and being able to do some reflecting as you're driving and just really have that experience, hearing it and being able to relate to it. I think it's going to be so powerful.
As you say that, Co, what I think about is it's like riding with your friends, right? You got 18 of these authors in volume one and their stories, right? And as a
Mm-hmm.
cohort, like we really became friends and
Yeah.
we got to know each other and our stories. And then a lot of our reviews coming in talk about like when you read this book, it is like hanging out with your friends at the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
table or having a cup of tea or just getting the down low on really authentic stories. So I was just thinking when you said that, because I love a good drive. I love a good drive and I love an audiobook, right? So just riding around, hanging out with your friends and telling the truth,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Ooh, yum.
That's going to be good. That's going to be good for all of us to be able to reflect. I mean, I'm looking forward to doing it. I want to hear it in your voices. I
Yes.
want to hear what you have to say in your voices and feel the emotion that you felt, because sometimes we're like, we might think that we understand what the author is trying to say and
Hmm.
feel it, but to be able to hear it in their voice, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the part that I had to fix in your chapter. One of the parts I had to fix, okay? Because Christine was talking about what we've learned, right? The timeline, the opportunity we took to be able to put it together. And one of the things we learned is read the chapter, read it, like read whatever as a narrator, read what you're going to read before you go and record it, of course, right? Especially my voice. Sometimes people tell me it's monotone. It might be robotic, right? Clearly, I stumble on my words sometimes, right? Make sure you read it so you know the words that you trip up on and you know where to flow and breathe and stuff, right? So
Mm.
there's this part in your chapter, Miami beaches and Georgia peaches, and you were talking about being at the airport. I don't know exactly where it is, but I remember the word was airport, right? And you were leaving Miami and you loved the beach, right? You loved being there for your friend and you had decided to go home. And that's a pivotal part in your chapter. And instead of airport, I said apartment and or something like switched a very important word. I said, no, it's got to be the airport. I can't say apartment here because it puts her somewhere else. It completely changes the story. Like, and so we got to go do a whole nother studio session to fix that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's okay because it was worth it to make sure that the story was told right. We're working through just the logistics and what you can expect in a project. Expect to have to go again. Don't expect the first take to be perfect. Expect to have feedback
Okay.
and instead just build the spreadsheet for where the feedback is so we can be organized instead of
Mm.
surprised that you're going to have to record something again. Yeah.
So I love that you said that, because I was explaining to you last week that I was nervous. Like, I had to get my voice together, and it sounds like it's better. It's
It
ready.
does. Hmm.
So but I was nervous. I'm actually very nervous to record because I'm still a small town girl from Louisiana. We say words like, I literally was just joking with Jessica because I was telling her, Jessica is one of the others that does Live Life Unlimited. She also makes like sweaters and different things like that, mugs and stuff. So shout out to Jessica. And so like I was telling her, I was like, we should say things wrong. I'm just convinced we say things wrong on purpose, because instead of saying casino, we're like, we going to the casino, girl. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's a
I was like,
thing.
I was like, how do I record this audiobook?
Mhm.
Does it need to be in my studious voice? Does it needs to be in what you would want a professor to speak, or does it needs to be as authentically me as possible? I was really struggling with that. Shannon had to call me and give me a pep talk.
And what'd she say? I can guess what she said because I know what I'd say, but what'd she
Mhm.
say, Coach
She
Co?
said we want to hear your voice. She said it needs to be authentically you. We want to hear your voice. Tell your story the way
Yep.
your story is supposed to be told. And I was like, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I am so just delighted, y'all, about this audiobook. We put it in the comments where people can find it.
Mm-hmm.
And no, like when I logged on this morning, if you don't have Audible and you want to do a free Audible trial for 7 days, you can get the book for free right now. It's usually $16.99, but it's on sale for like $10 on Amazon and all kinds of platforms where you can find it. But I'm going to have to pop off pretty quick because I'm getting ready for this event in Oakland. Y'all keep talking. If y'all want to keep
Absolutely.
talking, keep going. And
You're in Oakland. That's
I am in
fancy.
In
Oakland.
Oakland? Yeah, that's what I keep on
rolled
thinking
in
about. I love it.
here. I rolled in here Thursday night late, and we did an interplay event yesterday from
Mhm.
9 to 5 Oakland time, and it was great. We're doing a performance workshop here at
Mm.
the Interplay Studio,
Mm.
and with interplay we use movement and storytelling and voice to help people be in their bodies and have their full experience, and one of the ways we do that is through performance, that teaching that anybody can be a performer, and that when you show up and you witness each other's stories and you tell stories, and it goes so hand in hand, with Women Connected Wisdom and what we do. So yesterday, we listened to each other's stories and told stories, and we're in community. And I'm really excited because we're doing a hybrid event. We are doing it in the studio, and I got some really cool new technology where we're also doing it online and we're interacting together. So I wanted to be on site to be running the tech, and it's super fun. We are playing with people from Australia, from Vermont, from Pittsburgh, from Atlanta, from Oakland and surrounding Bay Area. We've got people from all over, and I'm just, yeah, doing my thing, singing, dancing, telling stories, and uplifting voices, and yeah, super fun.
That
Beautiful.
sounds
A mover
amazing.
and a shaker, like your volume 2
Literally
chapter,
a shake.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, literally a mover. Okay, you're moving over there. I see you making the moves.
You
I
go,
love it.
girl.
I love it.
So
And aren't you with Sheila K. Collins,
I
Dr.
am
Sheila
with
K.
Sheila K.
Collins?
Collins, who
And
is our in volume one.
a pleasure to
Absolutely.
be in the physical wellness
Right.
dimension with her. That was an honor. It is an honor,
And
right? We're launching the audiobook.
right. She
Mhm.
is currently working on her fourth book
Ooh,
about the
Wow.
art of grieving. So like Sheila K. Collins, like, I just want to be here when I grow up. That's just one of the things I want to say, because here she is in her 80s, working on her fourth book. She can outdance me. Like, she can outdrink me, but don't tell anybody that either. We had a little happy hour last night. But, here she is sharing her wisdom. Like, the art of grieving, it's going to be coming out in March, and just she's up there at 7:30 in the morning working on her finishing touches
good
as
job,
she
Sheila.
gets ready before we dance all day, right?
Beautiful.
That's so
Before we interplay
exciting.
all day.
Speaking of physical wellness, I was thinking about something. I was like, oh, I had my oil ready.
Mhm.
For
Ooh, look
my
at
physical
you.
wellness, I
It's
had my
beautiful.
oil
Oh, look,
ready. My
I got
Shayla girl.
my oil. And
Which
you
which
talk
which
about
flavor? Which you have? Which one
this is
you
a
have?
signature. This is the mango.
Ooh, I have
But
my lemongrass.
we're gonna get better because now the label is not gonna they're not gonna scratch anymore. I got the new label sitting right here, so we're gonna upgrade it. Yes. And this
Ooh.
is what I think about, like, when I think about Sheila's physical wellness and
Mhm.
interplay and getting in your body and seeing what comes up when you do things. That's how Shaylo Glow has helped so many people through grief. And it's been really interesting. Like, a lot of times we talk about self-care, but moving with it, being
Mhm.
saying that this is where we are, Sheila's chapter, she's at, another funeral of a loved one, and she's able to dance with her family and dance through it. And so
Mhm.
moving through the grief and saying that this is really what's going on,
Right.
allows us to heal and be more connected through those situations with ourselves and our loved ones, right? So that's what I love about talking about all of it together.
Well, and using art, right? One of the things Sheila taught me, I have been so blessed that we have been friends and we have been in each other's lives for almost 30 years. And one of the things that she has taught me is we must make art out of what happens to us. that
Mm-hmm.
we often don't control what happens to, like, we have no control sometimes over who dies and who lives and what if somebody backs into your car, but we can take it and make art out of it, right? And I think a lot of times we traditionally think of art as the museum, right? We think, oh, I can't do, but art is telling our story, like telling a good story. It's like writing it down, it's like writing a poem, it's like drawing something, it's dancing, like, excuse me, that is art. Like, we don't have to be Beyonce to be able to sing or dance. Like, we may not move like her, but we can move, right?
Oh man, I was just saying yesterday. I was like, first, a few things that you said, Christine, and I want to piggyback off that art. We need art. And my sister and I were having a conversation last night, and we were just thinking about some of the people that we know that possibly, are incarcerated, or people that we know that have made it out of very difficult situations due to the arts, hip hop, music, playing instruments, painting, different things, the Renaissance, different things like that that has changed so many people's lives. And I want to be an advocate for somebody to for schools, public schools, to start putting more into the arts, because everybody is not going to be educated to the degree of having several degrees or doing things like that. And that's totally okay, because art is just as important as education, in my opinion. So artists would save me, and I believe me, later on, education was very needed for me as well. But in the beginning, I talk about my parents divorcing, and poetry was something that gave me an outlet when I didn't have a voice. So had I not had that, I would have been a much more angrier teen than I already was. So I was able to put all of that into words and tell stories through that. People need art. People need different outlets to be able to challenge themselves, heal, grow, express so many different things. So I think that we need to definitely advocate for more artistic creativity in schools and all over. Recreation centers are school of institutes, art institute. Like, put some beauty into it. Make us believe in art again to the highest degree that we lost. Like, make this sound prestige or something that you want to be a part of, because art is amazing.
Right. And the other thing is y'all, if you want to do something, find somebody to support you in doing it. One of the things we do at Connected and Wisdom Press is we teach our authors, like, how to write a bio. Like, do you need support in your chapter? How to record your audiobook. Like, we give the tips and tricks. We have classes, and then we give you a like a pro checklist sheet that
Mm-hmm.
so you don't. I think this is one of the myths, that you have to know how to do it before you do it, right? That you have to be perfect at it, or you have to know everything before you start. Well, we're here to tell you, if we knew everything before we started, we wouldn't be here in this moment right now.
I mean, honestly, I didn't
Right.
know how to write a poem. Like, we didn't learn about poetry until we were in high school. I might be wrong, but I don't remember learning poetry until high school. So,
Mhm.
you learn about couplets and different things like that. I already was writing. So
Right.
I was already writing. I started writing poetry in seventh grade. So I was already writing and stuff. And, it makes, like, whenever you try to confound your art, or try to confound something into something you really want to do, into the logistics of everything, you start to lose your artistic expression or your artistic creativity. And believe me, there are logistics and things that you need to learn along the way, but learn it along the way. Don't try to get it all in one piece, because you don't have to do that. Like, we are learning that there's a different way. Maybe at one time back in the day,
Mm.
that you had to know how, you had to publish with the big five. You had to
Right.
get this type of book deal and already have some type of influence and all these different things.
Mhm.
Beautiful. But that's not the only way now. That's not the only way to do most things now.
Super thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
And when Courtney is talking about the big five, it's the big five publishers that people used to have to go through, right? And I was watching, watching Elf last night, and it's so interesting because his dad is a publisher, right? He's talking about, I don't want to take a $30,000 bath because of 2 pages missing from this children's book. I said, dang, I hope printing was 30,000. If you mess up, and we're talking about going back for another iteration, right?
Wow.
So glad. I'm so thankful it doesn't cost us $30,000 today. So,
Right?
um, I hear what you're saying, Co, about doing it differently. And that's really what it is, right? When we're learning how to walk, we didn't go from crawling to putting our, doing our hair, doing lashes, and putting our whole outfit on and tying our shoes. Like, it's one step at a time, and that's what I love about my chapter in volume 2 is we're continuously learning new things. This is not like school when one answer is correct and you have to do it this way, and the next year it's on to whatever other subject you
Mm-hmm.
have to do based on this class list that was offered. In real life, it's okay, where do I need help? What do I need to learn? And you're not going to learn it all in one day or one quarter, maybe one year. It just depends on what you're doing and how many things you're trying to do at the same time. But what you can do is learn part of it, see how you did, talk to the people that you work with. You got to go, Christine.
I do.
Okay. Okay,
I
let's
do.
let's pause it. We hope you enjoy I hope you enjoy your event. Enjoy
Yeah.
California.
You
Yeah.
tear it down. Cut
Yes.
up.
Yes.
Is there anything else to do when you're in Oakland?
You
No,
got
like
this.
cut
Enjoy
up.
yourself.
Right?
Yes.
All right. I
Yes.
love y'all. I'm
Love you
so
too.
excited for y'all. I can't wait to hear our listeners feedback about our volume 1 Women Connecting Wisdom audiobook, right? Y'all get it. Listen to us. Tell us what you think. And then volume 2 is on the way for the audiobook.
Hey, hey,
Here we
hey.
go. Here we go. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks
Thank
for
you
holding
so
it down
much.
while I'm gone. Appreciate
Got
you.
you. Of
Bye.
course. Peace. Hey,
Hi.
Coco in the morning.
I know.
What a beautiful
It's still a little
opportunity,
bit chilly.
right? Just got to be ready for the season. And that's something I've been getting better at is being ready for the season before we're there. Before, when I had holes in my shoes and stuff, like we weren't ready for the season. We trying to get caught up for the season that we're in. And that's why I love being a little more ahead of things.
Hmm.
Winter is coming. Right? We know winter is coming. I look forward to shopping in the off season, so that I can save my coins, shop effectively, put it up, but you got to have storage for that, right? You got to have space for the dreams and the things that you see yourself growing into. So it's
Hmm.
all one step at a time. And that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I fuss about that all the time. And I'm really trying to get better at that. Like
What do you mean?
feeling like I'm unprepared.
Hmm.
Like I
We
just
talk about
don't like it. But I'm like, you need to get used to the world changing and you might not be right there with it at the time, but give yourself room to catch up
it.
and take those necessary steps. I
Hmm.
just want to always be prepared all the time. I hate when things are thrown at me or throw me off. Like this week I got a new student and
Hmm.
that truly when I tell you that ruined my morning. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. It
Okay.
ruined my morning because I was not expecting that. And I was just
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, I made all this candy for these kids because that was the day before we were celebrating Book Character Day. It was on the 31st. And I was like, I don't have candy for this girl. I don't have anything prepared. I'm like, and I know that it's not that big of a deal, but in my mind, it was a big deal.
I
So it
understand.
was just, I was trying to be nice because it was written all over my face that I
Hmm.
was like unhappy that I was unprepared for the situation, but I didn't want her to think it was because of her,
Hmm.
you know?
And how did she respond?
She was kind, and she was very. She speaks some English. She doesn't. Her primary language is Spanish. She
Mm,
speaks some English, and she
poquito.
did try to communicate with me as best as she could. So I think that she's getting more acclimated. She has some friends and stuff now. So she's 3 days in. So I think that I'm going to continue to make sure that I want to make sure she feels welcome. I know that I've been thrown in several different avenues. So I haven't been able to put on that one-on-one time with her, but
Hmm.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah. It sounds like you did great. And
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, I was all cute. I had my little frizzle outfit
Yeah.
on and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
then a student came and brought her to my class. And at first I was like, who are you? And she was like, you have a new student. I said, no, I don't. And she was like, yes. And I had to hurry up and fix my face.
Mhm. I hear you. Yeah. And that's what I like about what Jessica said. We were talking about Jessica, about my chapter in volume 2. And that's why I love like sharing what we learned, what works. Because she said some, and I don't have a quote. I don't want to use the time because I know we're at time to look it up, but she was talking about how the system gave her room to deal with the unexpected because we know
Mm,
stuff is going to happen, right? Oh, and before we go, let me read this review that I have for volume 1 because it's talking about how our book went beyond expectations. But what we talk about, code, right? When we're planning our goals, when we're planning our time, if things went exactly to plan, God would have no room to exceed expectations,
mm,
right? If you knew exactly what was going to happen, it would be a normal day. I knew it. And that's how life would be every day. Like it just go the way you plan it. And then we would have to really be intentional about planning the right stuff, right?
mm-hmm,
But when this happens and this changes, like, yes, we thought it was going to be volume 1 and volume 2 after. We talked about this before you got on. But now, because it's not, right? Now we have the opportunity to just talk about audiobooks and talk about both volumes together. And that's what we were going to do anyways, talk about all of the ladies and continue to connect with you ladies and community and uplift your voices, your stories, and keep the party going. Like that's why we're here. So how can it fall in a place for your benefit? Christine says something that reminded me of the car accident. Again, somebody rear ending me, oh, excuse me, reversing into me at a green light, right? But in that time, we published volume 2, right? Published the audiobook. That's why we're here, right? Celebrating the audiobook release. So again, if you guys are listening to this and catching the end, Coach Co and I are here for Women Connected in Wisdom, Volume 1, as narrators, authors, right? And the audiobook is now available. So if you read the book, if you haven't had the opportunity to read the book, take the opportunity to get the audiobook. It's available now for you. And I said I was going to read this review, and it's beautiful. This is from Marina Diaz, and she said, "Beyond expectations. I did not anticipate this book having so much impact on my soul. It touched on several areas of my life that I was not really paying attention to, especially being kind to myself and mindful of my wellness, not just others. I had not heard of the 8 dimensions of wellness before, and this was a fantastic introduction. The articles are challenging while also providing comfort and kindness. I highly recommend it."
I love
Mhm.
that.
Beautiful. So we know the trainings and the conversations and how many conversations we've had and the things we've had on our plate as we are balancing the chapters. I'm thinking about you going back to get your camera and then going back to a photo shoot and making it work.
Yeah,
And
all
this
of
is
that.
why, for the impact.
I see, I see a chapter for
Mhm.
you for the next
Okay.
volume already. I see it.
What do you see?
I see you talking about this experience of
Mhm.
taking on as a project manager
Okay.
and the different things that happen that cause you to have to pivot with life unexpectancies. I see it.
Okay. I'm writing it down. Okay. And I'll close on this. I wrote it down. I was thinking about for volume 3, chapter B entitled Strategically Orchestrated.
Mm,
Mhm. Because we say, "Oh, it's crazy, it's crazy. It's too crazy. It's too many things to happen to tell me that God didn't have all this happen, that he didn't already know. That things, again, when they went unexpected, that they weren't falling together. For me to have this voice, and again, not only be a narrator, but you're a narrator, and you're a narrator, and you're an author, and you're an Amazon bestseller, and being able to exponentiate like the healing and the sharing and the royalties and the streams of cash flow and like the business growth and the personal growth. I love it.
absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure. I
Yeah.
100% they call it the potter, making his clay,
Mhm.
molding,
Mhm.
making. So I believe it.
For what's needed, strength,
Yeah,
certain places. Yeah.
yeah. A
And we
bump
can do that.
here, a
Mhm.
stretch here,
Mhm.
a mold there. You
Yeah.
know.
And in life, I think about it now as like, and we talk about it with the Glow Club meetups, stretching into new positions. Now you're a different version of yourself. You're not, and you are also still always that small town girl. That's what I was gonna say to you earlier. Like that's where we're from. That's who we are. Like Hiram, Douglasville, Birmingham. That's always gonna be what it is. It's
Yeah,
crazy that these these colors are purple because high school color is definitely purple and gold. So I've been like rocking these colors already. So,
That's what's up. That's what's up,
Mhm.
man.
okay. Anything else you want to say to everybody before we jump off this initial launch for our audiobook?
I mean, if I just want to encourage people to just get down and do it, I mean, get down and do it and read it, man. Listen to it, read it, listen to it, and take it in. And it's not just for me to be selling to you, but it's these
No.
ladies been through things. And I have a
Right.
mother. My mother is 72 years old, or 73. Sorry, mom. And she was able to connect with this book. She was able to connect with this book and say that I just love hearing all of these different women's story
Yeah.
about all the different things that we go through as women, or even adjacent to some of the things that they went through. And so if a woman, and that's not just my chapter,
Mm-hmm.
because my mom, the chapter that I wrote, she already knew that happened, and she knows that. That's her reading the whole book and getting something from it. So if a 72-year-old woman can take something from 18 to 30-year olds to 40-year olds, then that means that it's for every woman to be able to connect to in some way, shape, or form.
Yes. And that's what it was for. So I love that the intention translated to the impact, right? That's very important for me. So thank you for being here. You guys know and love the authors. You have seen the speakers. If you want to get more connected, go to womenconnectedinwisdom.com, right? Go to the podcast, check out our resources and our shows that we have for you on whichever platform you listen. And you'll find Coach Co, you'll find Sheila K. Collins and Christine Gotro and me, Shannon Mitchell, and all the stuff that we've been working on for you. So stay tuned. We have more lives throughout the day, but they will not be on this channel right now. So again, get plugged into the social media, get plugged into Coach Co and her talk sessions and the let's see if she pops back on. And the Monday motivating. Here we go. What's the name of your email code that you send out?
So I call it Code Mail, and it's Monday Motivation, a little
Yes.
email you never knew you needed. Plug into that. That
Plug into it.
is golden. You can go to Life Coach Co on Instagram and go to my link tree, and you'll take you right to the links.
Yes, yes. And for me, guys, we have Glow Club Meetup coming up this month, the third Saturday from 1 to 4 at the retail space. And if you want to get my speaker one sheet, if you want to talk about more about the 8 dimensions of wellness, SMART goals, intentional physical wellness, or intellectual wellness, let me know. We can get connected and see what makes sense. Okay, and again, here for the audiobook and all 18 of these authors. And this is my beat up version of our volume one, but
I
you can
love it.
get yours new, you can get yours audiobook, digital, whatever works best for you, and let us know what you think. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon. Peace.